The National Identification Authority has assured that it's committed to ensuring all eligible Ghanaians are captured in the National Identification Database. According to the Chief Executive Officer of the authority, Professor Kenneth Atefa, the authority has introduced the Commissioner of Oath to, among other things, vouch the validity of those who bring other people or those who speak on behalf of other people in an attempt to get them registered.
We're going to make sure that no one who is genuinely eligible to register will be excluded. But for goodness sake, it is extremely important that we obey the law and create a national register that contains the names and identities of only Ghanaians. In other words, it is our bounden duty to ensure that Ghanaians get registered and non-Ghanaians get excluded. That is an important statutory obligation which we are ready and determined to keep. The only thing about the vouching for process is the introduction of the Commissioner for Oath in order to register the solemnity of the declaration by the person who is saying that I know this person and her eligibility claims to being Ghanaian are well-founded or bona fide. That person must be making that claim sincerely, honestly believing so to be true, so that this register is not fraud or tainted with fraud. It's not fraught with fraud. It has to be as sacrosanct as we Ghanaians can make it. And it is the obligation of every Ghanaian to assist this country. That is what you do when you pledge.
Professor Kenneth Atefa there. Meanwhile, former President John Agyekum Kufuor has backed the minority's calls for the inclusion of the voter ID cards as base requirement for the registration of the Ghana card.
Document that would help identify a citizen as a citizen with the sovereign authority residing in him or her. So if your voter's ID is not incorporated in this, then when it comes to citizens going to make a government, where would you be? How would you say, truly, you also have the kokoromoti power to make and unmake a government? So voter's ID should be part.
Former President Kufuor there. Now, the minority in Parliament says it has been vindicated by former President John Kufuor's call for the NIA to allow the use of voters' ID card in registering for the card. Deputy Minority Leader James Kluche Aveji is asking government to listen to Kufuor and amend the laws to allow for the use of the voters' ID cards as said. As you may be aware, the minority has boycotted the registration process, demanding the NIA includes voters' ID cards in the process. Let's go to Parliament and speak with our correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo so that he will give us an update on what the minority in Parliament is saying, or they believe that they've been vindicated by former President Kufuor's call for the NIA to allow the use of voters' ID card for the registration of the Ghana card. The Deputy Minority Leader James Kluche Aveji is asking government to listen to former President Kufuor.
That 50 million Ghanaians were qualified to vote and have voted them into power. So now what do you say that the card that they use to give you power, they cannot use the same card to get the Ghana card for themselves? So the call by the former President Kufuor that the voters' ID card should be added, I think that the government should listen to that call and ensure that the law that we pass on the floor here is amended to include the voters' ID card, so that at least we can say 50 million are qualified, who can just go and register without anybody going to attest or confirm that, oh, they are members of their family and all sort of those struggles. Okay. Then we can then deal with the remaining. That lessens the burden on NIA and all of us.
Do you feel vindicated by the position of former president?
Of course, yes. The truth is only once. We have been saying it, that being a citizen of Ghana cannot be defined by the law we pass here in Parliament, that if you don't have a voter's ID, no, you don't have a birth certificate or passport, you not qualify as a citizen to register. No. That is why we have been calling for addition of voters ID card, and we are vindicated by the position taken by the former president. So we have the hope that once this is coming from one of them who has been a former president from their party, it's something that they must consider, and we believe that they will consider it. If they don't, we'll allow the court process to come to a conclusion, and we believe strongly that the judges will also have the reasoning that we, in minority, have behind this move, so that they can rule in favor of the minority.
So obviously,
I say he's an individual, just like President Kufuor. President Kufuor is also. He didn't make any call to say that it is not good to add the voters ID card. He didn't do that. Only that he did not come out. Probably he might come today or tomorrow and support that position. So that is the position. He hasn't come out to condemn it. The man hasn't come out to say that the call by the minority is not in the right direction. No.
But what about
President Kufuor came
his
out.
Action. He's gone now ahead to register, to have his
despite your boycott.
We have boycotted out as minority here in Parliament. And we are asking, the reason some of us are doing that basically is that if my constituency over 100,000 people, let's say only 95% do not have birth certificate or passport, why should I go ahead as their representative in Parliament to register?
Well, will government listen to former President Kufuor? That's an answer we don't know yet. We've been trying to get that from Parliament for you, but it's been quite difficult getting through to Joseph Opoku-Gakpo, who is standing by for us in Parliament. We'll try and bring you updates from Parliament as and when we get through to Joseph Opoku-Gakpo.